Ahoy there, mateys. I'm Miss Taylor. I mentioned last time that I was a college student at UNK, the University of Nebraska at Kearney. But besides being a college student, I'm a stage manager, one of the many people involved in making a musical possible. It takes a lot of work to take a musical from the pages of the script to a full-value, exciting production. Today we'll learn about how musicals are made by looking at the people involved and by looking at what each of these people do. The first step in making a musical? Pick a musical. There are hundreds of musicals to choose from. Scripts can be found online, in catalogs, and in libraries. Usually a team of producers, the people who pay to make a show possible, will pick out a musical almost a year in advance. The university announced the production of How I Became a Pirate last year, around January of 2015, but the show won't be open to the public until February 2016. Some musicals are very well known. You might be familiar with many of them, like The Sound of Music, or The Phantom of the Opera, The Lion King, or The Little Mermaid. Our show, How I Became a Pirate, is actually based off of a well-known children's book of the same title. After they have chosen a play, the next step is finding the people. There are two main groups of people involved with a musical, the cast and the crew. The cast is made up of all of the performers. This could include the actors, the dancers, and maybe voice actors or musicians. When you come to see the show, you will most likely only see members of the cast. The crew will be backstage, in the control booth, or maybe even at home. The crew includes the director, the stage manager, hey, that's me, the designers, the builders, and anyone who works backstage. You might be thinking, that's a lot of people, and you're right. It takes a lot of people to make a musical possible, and each person has a different job. The director is one of the most important people in the crew. They are usually very experienced in theater. At UNK, this means one of the theater professors or teachers. The director is in charge of making the big concept decisions. This means they decide how they want things to look and what they want the audience to take away from the show. They are also in charge of showing, or directing, the actors to do things the way they want them done. This could include how to say a line or where to move on the stage. This is a picture of our director telling the actors what to do. Another important person is the stage manager, me. We help make sure everything comes together on time. Musicals especially are made up of many small pieces. Everything is being built or being worked on at the same time, and in the end, it all has to match up. It's a lot like a puzzle. To make things run smoothly, the stage manager will take notes, make lists and schedules, and keep in touch with everyone involved with the show. This is my production binder. As you can see, I have a lot of paperwork in here, and I add more every day. Keeping good records is my job, so the show can come together as easily and as smoothly as possible. The next people to be hired or brought into the process are the designers. They are in charge of creating different parts of the show. There are usually 5 main designers, but if a show becomes more complex, more are brought on. The 5 designers are in charge of one of the following areas: scenic, props, costumes, lighting, or sound. They usually start working months before the first performance. The scenic designer is in charge of the set. The set is the background for the show. Usually it includes walls or doorways, furniture, or in this case, a pirate ship. The scenic designer creates the world in which a show takes place. The first thing a scenic designer does is create a ground plan. This plan tells the builders and the stage manager where the walls, the furniture, and the other pieces of the set will go on the stage. This is the ground plan for our show. If you were to climb up and hang off the ceiling like Spider-Man and look down at the set from above, this is what it would look like. At the same time, or shortly after, the scenic designer would make a model like this one out of poster board and other craft supplies. This is a miniature version of the set built on a miniature version of the stage. This helps the director and other designers see exactly what the set will look like once it has been built. The next step? Build it! We have workers and volunteers who come in and build the sets. It takes a long time. This is what the set looks like now, but it will look a lot different when you get here to see the show. Second is the designer of the props. He or she works very closely with the scenic designer and is usually called the props master. A prop is any tool or item that a character uses on stage. The props master is the master of these things. This might mean they're in charge of building a treasure chest, or a barrel, or buying all the toys, tools, and food a pirate character might need.
Created using Powtoon.